Thank you very much for staying with us. So if you've been in the loop of what's happening in Ghana, you would know that there has been a hot race for who becomes Ghana's next Chief Justice. So we go to the seat of government now, where President Akufo-Addo is set to name the next Chief Justice of the Republic. Justice Sophia Akufo's name has come up strongly as she appears to be named the next Chief Justice of the land. She will become the second female Chief Justice in the history of the country after Justice Theodora Wood. Ms. Akufo is the next most senior on the highest court of the land after Mr. Justice William Atuguba, who is billed to retire soon. Many had tipped Mr. Justice Jones Doche as the front runner in the race for the position of the fourth most powerful person in Ghana. But Justice Akufo, described as a dark horse, sprung a surprise on many. She has been at the Supreme Court for the past 2 decades and has a master's degree in law, LLM, from the Harvard University in the United States of America. And I will be bringing you a short brief of what she has done or what she's achieved over the years, her qualifications, and some of the cases she has sat on. And as we get to know who Madam Sophia Akufoh is, as in Justice Sophia Akufoh, one of the strong names that is in the lead to become Ghana's next Chief Justice. Sophia A.B. Akufoh has been a judge of the Supreme Court of Ghana for about 20 years, or the past 2 decades. Sophia Akufoh trained as a lawyer under the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's law firm, has a master's in LLM from the University of Harvard. That's the University of Harvard Law School in the United States of America. She has been a member of the governing committee of the Commonwealth Judicial Education Institute and the chairperson of the Alternative Dispute Resolution Task Force. In January 2016, in January 2006, she was elected one of the first judges of the Africa Court on Human and People's Rights, initially elected for 2 years. She was subsequently re-elected until 2014 and is at present serving as Vice President of the court. She has written the Application of Information Communication Technology in Judicial Process, the Ghanaian Experience, a presentation to the African Judicial Network, Ghana. That was in 2002. One of her famous cases is when she presided over the Muntie 3 in 2016. She is senior to the other 2 contenders, and I will just bring you a brief profile of her. She's also the one on your screens now, so clearly it looks quite prominent or quite clear that she is likely to be Ghana's next Chief Justice. And I would want to just tell you a few things that we know about her, and so just stay with us as there she is. Very likely to be Ghana's next Chief Justice. The President will be announcing that in a jiffy. So our men are at the seat of government, that's a Flagstaff House. So just when the President is about to do the announcing, we will be there live to update you. So here's a brief profile on Madam, that's Justice Akufoh. So she is currently a judge of the Supreme Court of Ghana, and she's been there for about 20 years now, or almost 20 years, past 2 decades. She trained under the Akufo-Addo law firm. She has a master's in law from the Harvard University in the United States, has written the Application for Information and Communication Technology in Judicial Process, the Ghanaian Experience. And that was a presentation that was made to the African Judicial Network in 2002. So what else do we know about her? One of her famous cases that she sat on or she presided over was the famous Muntie 3, where we know about some 3 radio presenters, or a presenter and 2 guests who made some very unsavory comments, were dragged to the Supreme Court and were later released by former President John Dramani Mahama. It was quite topical a few months back. And then she is also senior to 2 other contenders, but only Justice William Atuguba is most senior to her. and looks like she is in the run to be Ghana's next Chief Justice after Madam Theodora Wood, who will be, bowing out or going on retirement in about a few months as well. So that's what we know, and our men are on the ground picking up further information. When we do get what the president has to say about this lady in question, we will let you know about that. So we've been joined in studio by a legal practitioner. We just want to put a few questions to him. What he makes of Madam, he has been a practitioner himself, so certainly might have a thought or two about the Chief Justice that we're talking about, Chief Justice to be. Mr. Martin Pebu, good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us. You are a practitioner yourself. First of all, what are your initial thoughts about the hue and expectations of who becomes Ghana's next Chief Justice?
Yeah, I must say that, well, it's normal. You know, we live in Ghana. These kind of appointments usually generate a lot of excitement and conspiracy theories and all those things. So this time round, it's been as before. I mean, in terms of there have been previous happenings like that. I must say that the decision to replace, to get the new Chief Justice, it appears very swift, considering that, yes, the CJ has not yet gone. It's swift, and it's good. It means that the president intends that there should be a smooth transition. There should be no waiting period and all those things. Yes, and it's his prerogative, so we'll leave it
to him to do that. All right. So clearly, I think the entire country is waiting to see who takes up that. Whether it will be confirmed, as many have speculated, and we'll see how it pans out. But Mr. Martin Pebu, you have also joined us for a particular issue that has to do with a case you sent to court that cases should be bailable. Yeah. And the court ruled in your favor. So you won that case, that every case should be bailable. But there seemed to be some disagreement in that regard. The Ghana Police Service specifically saying that they seem to have some concerns about the ruling, and we'll put that concern up and then ask you what you make of it. So first of all, let's hear what the Ghana Police Service has to say about this particular case and how they think it is affecting their business.
Now, robbery cases, they send them to court, and then the robbers, they come out on bail. While the cases are still ongoing. And then some of these robbers, when they get bail, they don't even appear before court. They go back into the ground to continue to perpetrate the crime. Maybe more serious than what even brought them to court. So now robbers, they have no fear for crime. Gone were those days whereby some of the circuit courts and the high courts, they sentence them. They are on remand, and then the continuous trial. Some get 50 years, 60 years. This time we don't hear of this thing regularly, because sometimes the difficulty in getting these accused persons to come and face even justice becomes a very big problem for us, because he knows that at the end of the day, he will face very serious offense. So he has to decide coming to face the justice, or he should rather abscond.
All right, so that is a senior officer in the Ghana Police Service saying that there are concerns about the blanket order given by the Supreme Court that all cases are bailable or should be bailable. And you took that case to court. First of all, is there any legitimacy in this concern raised by Tete Yohun?
I should say to some extent, yes. You know, that's the thing. He is seized with all the facts, so it will be very unreasonable on my part to presume that he is not looking for the interests of Ghanaians. Okay, so we'll grant him his opinion, but it is, you can also see that he's been overstated. Okay, look, let's not make a mistake. Let's say an accused person is innocent until proven guilty. Right. And that is the principle. Martin, let me tell you, our history has shown that we have locked up thousands of persons without trying them, and for several years. So please, let's put that in perspective. You see, I understand. I'm getting closer to how the police work. I'm studying that area. I appreciate, yeah, they are seriously constrained in terms of the resources and the rest. But let's not use that as an excuse to keep thousands of persons in custody without trial. Okay? So
that concern he raised, that, for instance, you know, armed robbers specifically are really difficult to grab. And then when they do get them, they need to go through the legal process. So in this case, if they are granted bail, these are people who are very likely to abscond. And so in that case, would you call for an amendment of the ruling?
No. The ruling is very sound. You see, the Supreme Court knew exactly what they were doing. It's because, as I said, you see, we are underestimating the gross abuse we have meted out to thousands of our fellow citizens. Till date, some of them are still in custody. People, look, it's common to go and find people who have been in custody for 2-3 years without a trial. My brother, why? What kind of country are we living in? So he's overstating the point. The solution to the concern he's raising is that let's have swift prosecution of those cases. That is what he's not addressing. Look, I can tell you.
But does the legal system allow for swift prosecution of cases?
Very much so. But rather, I can tell you that the police, because they are overstretched, they don't have enough persons to do fast, efficient investigations. That is usually one of the main causes of the delay. The police usually are overstretched, so they are not able to conduct investigations swiftly. Trust me, I've also looked at the figures. So it would have been better if you put it this way, that they are constrained. Let's have reforms that will enable them to perform their jobs efficiently. That much would all come on board. But the way he stated it, the problem is not very well stated at all.
It is in good light that you know what the problem the police have. And the fact that our judicial system, you're saying, has the capacity to expedite cases or the trial of cases. What would your recommendation then be? Because the police clearly are constrained, like you mentioned. How do you think that they can go through the process swiftly and efficiently so we do not wrongfully release people and wrongfully jail people?
Good. So as I say, it's about resources. They themselves, you see, 2 days ago I was at a symposium in Gimpa where I stated that we have an anomaly in Ghana where we have taken thousands of policemen who are supposed to help in crime prevention and made them prosecutors. They are de facto lawyers. On the 26th of April, the CJ stated at the graduation of new lawyers that half-baked lawyers are a threat to our democracy. So what about the situation of non-baked lawyers? You have thousands of policemen who are prosecutors. So they have left.
How do you mean? If you say that they are prosecutors, the police are prosecutors?
Yeah, police are. They form the majority of the prosecutors in Ghana. So let's say when you take a case to court, the people who prosecute, police form the majority. They outnumber the lawyers overwhelmingly. Okay? Yes, it's a wide gap. Police outnumber lawyers who are prosecutors. So what kind of situation have we created? You see? So we haven't diagnosed our problem well. So what I'm saying is that policemen, they have thousands of their persons who are prosecutors in the courts. One major reform we should do is that let's begin to withdraw them. The government should employ lawyers. I made the point that, look, as of 2012, I'd seen about 400 applications of lawyers who wanted to work for the government. Attorney General said, no, we don't have money. So every year, before you discover, they employ 50, 70, a small number. And yet, they will recruit more policemen as prosecutors. So where you've ended up putting most of your men as prosecutors in court, how can you conduct swift investigations? So it's about the numbers. Look, as I said, look, I support the police, okay, because we need peace and security first. Look, I have been a victim of several burglaries, okay, so I understand what it takes, okay, but we can't use the slow process, their inability to finish investigation quickly as an excuse to keep thousands of our fellow citizens in custody. It's wrong.
We'll see how it unfolds. Clearly, like you mentioned, the police do have a case. You have a case. The Supreme Court has given its position, and there seems to be some back and forth, some teething concerns that we all need to address as a country, and issues of our resourcing the security agencies, the police specifically, and then also recruiting the trained lawyers to play the role of prosecutors for the police service is also a concern. You intend to take that to court to maybe so at least the recruitment process of the police is reviewed?
Yeah, so that one, my brother, what is happening is that I haven't seen how the judiciary can address it that well. So what the decision we took is that we formed an association of lawyers, okay, to push for criminal justice reforms.
Right.
And a lot of lawyers have shown interest. So we are doing a petition to the AG that the AG should recruit more lawyers, release policemen to go and perform police duties. Policemen are policemen. They are not lawyers. That is where we've got it wrong.
Okay.
As a nation, look, let's do it right. It's so awkward.
Okay. All right. We've been speaking with Martin Kpebu. He's a legal practitioner. And then also, he won that landmark case, or got the Supreme Court to rule in his favor, that landmark case where every case is bailable depending on the discretion of the judge. So we would see how it unfolds in the coming days, but trust TV3 to bring you any updates from every quarters when it becomes available. Thank you very much, Mr. Kpebu, for your time. And then also, we want to bring this to you, that our sources at the seat of government has confirmed that Justice Sufai Akuffo has just been named as Ghana's next Chief Justice. My colleague Nana Kweku Edua has joined us on phone for an update. Kweku, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time. What else can you tell us? All right, I think that the line has just dropped, but Nana Kweku Edua is TV3's presidential correspondent and has just confirmed to us that the President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has confirmed Madam Justice Sufai Akuffo as Ghana's next Chief Justice. She'll be taking over from Justice Theodora Wood in the coming days or in the coming months. But that confirmation was made a few minutes ago. The President will be addressing the media and the legal fraternity, for that matter, around 12:30 at the seat of government later today. Nana Edua, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. What else can you tell us about this confirmation?
What I can tell you is that the one we all know will be confirmed, or who is in the news, Madam Sufai Akuffo, is in the building as I speak to you right now, and she's the only notable judge who is here. So if you ask me about confirmation, since she's here, then I can tell you probably she's going to be the next Chief Justice, Martin.
What are the preparations for the confirmation, the final confirmation, the announcement that is?
All is set, actually. Family members have started trooping in already. I mean, well-wishers and some lawyers and judges have started trooping in already. The cameras are fixed, the media is ready. So what we are waiting for is a time, which is 12:30, and we are waiting the President to come. You know, the President doesn't joke with his time. So when he says 12:30, so by 12:30, he will be in the chamber, one of the chambers that are flagged out here, and he will announce and confirm her as the new Chief Justice. So that's what we're waiting for.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Nana Kweku Edua. He is TV3's presidential correspondent. And 12:30, the President will be confirming that. And with checking the studio time, it is about 11 minutes to 12:30. So it means that right about that time, we will go back to the seat of government to bring you live pictures of how the final confirmation process would be. This is TV3. And we go on to some other stories, though. The police administration has directed its criminal investigations department to take over investigations of the killing of a young man in Tema by its patrol team on Tuesday. The conduct of the police officers have also been referred to the Police Intelligence and Professional Standards, that is PIPS. Director General of the Police Operations, COP Christian Tete Yehonu, says that the police will investigate the matter thoroughly.
The Inspector General of Police has also directed the Director General CID to take over that case and investigate it very well. Also, the professional aspect of the men who perform the duties have to be investigated. So the IGP has directed the professional standard unit, that is the PIPS, also to go into it and see the professional behavior, whether there's something that the police did that really falls foul of the standard of operations. So that is ongoing, and we hope that all these two investigations, when they are brought to the table of the IGP, they'll get to know exactly. And people who, through their negligence or any way, find themselves out, the law will have to deal with them.
Let's stay on security-related matters because unknown gunmen have attacked residents of Alavanyo, Peme, killing a 15-year-old boy with a 70-year-old boy sustaining gunshot wounds. Residents say the attackers stormed the town late Thursday afternoon and opened fire on the teenagers who were taking their supper. It is unclear what triggered the killing. Now, the deceased bodies we were told have been identified as Prince Ankuche, whilst Alex Adiku, who sustained injuries, is receiving treatment at the St. Margaret Makot Catholic Hospital in Kwando. There is heavy military and police presence in the conflict-prone town. 3 people were shot dead by unknown gunmen at Nkonya Ahinkro and Tai a fortnight ago. The Interior Minister and other security chiefs have assured the residents of adequate security to forestall, further occurrence of this kind of disaster. And TV3's Volta regional correspondent Robert Abilba has joined us on the line to give us an update on this development. Robert, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. What's the current situation in the township of Nkonya?
Good afternoon, Martin. I come as a return to the area after such incident that happened yesterday. You have heavy police and military personnel on the ground now, ensuring that peace seriously prevails until they continue their investigation as to what caused this particular shooting.
Can you tell us what you have gathered as a journalist, and also maybe what you've picked up from the police and residents, who they suspect must have undertaken this crime?
Yeah, obviously it hasn't been only yesterday that we have been experienced, particularly we reporters in the region. We have been covering this give and take, as one may term it to be. Anytime at all there's a shooting incident happening from the 2 factions and one area being a victim, the next 2 weeks or 10 days, you realize that it's like a retaliation, something that one may want to describe it. The residents in the area, particularly this particular shooting incident, are blaming it and then attributing it to give and take. That is, they are retaliating. They feel the killings that happened in Nkonya, it was they who caused it, and therefore they are also killing to square it. But on the more serious note, the security personnel do not see it from that angle. They believe this killing could be a personal something, because the incident that had to do with the land issue has been solved long ago. They see no reason why they would still be fighting based on such conflict between the 2 communities. That's what is happening. And they are asking, when do they think peace will return to the area to allow everybody move about and do his or her job?
And while the residents are blaming the security agencies for, or asking them when this will cease, what are the residents themselves doing to ensure that there is calm and, eternal certainty of peace for these communities?
Yeah. You see, the residents themselves are seriously found wanting when it comes to them, because they equally want to blame authorities for the curfew, because they say the curfew has no any impact on what is happening now. So if they have allowed freedom of movement of persons and then goods, they will sit and then chat a good call to know what next to follow. But when you restrict them from moving from one place to the other at a particular point in time or time in question, certainly they will not be able to sit and chat a good cause and come up with one particular strategy to use to stop this. And that's what is happening now. So they keep on blaming the situation on the security personnel. Yet the security personnel, on the other hand, are also saying they are not judging on that. And that is the law that mandates that you go into the interland and see to it that nobody goes there during the curfew hours. But even these killings, according to them, did not happen
Thank you. Thank you very much, Robert, for that update, and certainly we'll be coming back to you to see how the matter is being resolved by the residents and the security agencies that have been assigned to Nkonya and Alavanyo and surrounding communities. Robert Abilba is TV3's Volta Regional Correspondent with an update of the death or shooting of a 15-year-old boy and a 17-year-old boy. One of them is dead, one is receiving treatment. Let's turn attention to some other stories, though. Now, 2 years ago, the Esiwa police station in the Bosome-Frehun district of the Ashanti region came under media spotlight following the escape of 3 inmates from custody. Issues surrounding the cell break was shrouded in mystery and suspicion, leading to the transfer of the then police head and other security personnel, police personnel there. So, 2 years on, TV3's William Evans Inkum has visited Esiwa District Police Command and has, thoroughly been assessing or questioning or asking for reports on what the latest is with regard to that.
All right, so this is the Siwa Police Station. In 2015, something happened when the country was actually recording a series of cell breaks across a section of the country. At Siwa, similar incident happened here. In 2015, 3 people escaped from the Esiwa police cell. They escaped through this particular place, but as you can see, it has been sealed, and you can say that it is actually heavily fortified as far as this particular place is concerned. It's actually a toilet. This is where the cell's toilet is located, and that is where they escaped from. Now, 2 years on, there has been a lot of changes in terms of administrative and also operation. But the problem is that despite change in status, now this police station has graduated from just a normal police station to a district police command. But there's a problem, because with its new status, it's supposed to have an armory and also an exhibit store, but that is not the case here, because they don't have any of these things, despite the fact that that's been given a new status, and that is a challenge. Notwithstanding, there's also a vehicular challenge. The police station or the district command has no vehicle for operations. This is the only vehicle that they use. In fact, this one was also given to them by the Bosome-Frehun District Assembly. But I'm told that this particular vehicle is also not in the best of shapes, especially when they have to chase criminals and what have you. Because of its bad state, they kind of go through some difficulties in chasing these armed robbers. One wouldn't conclude that there is one of the places that criminals actually operate, or a crime-prone area, because per the records that I've cited, the crime rate in this particular police station is quite low, despite the fact that it was once of this particular district, I'm talking about Bosome-Frehun district, was once upon a time a galamsey-prone area. Nonetheless, the crime rate is quite low. But there's still a challenge, because a police station or a facility with a district status, things like an armory and an exhibit store should be something fundamental, a basic necessity as far as this particular facility is concerned. But they are simply not here. From Esiwa in the Bosome-Frehun district of the Ashanti region, and for TV3 News, William Evans Inkum. Over to you, studios.
All right, so that's TV3's Ashanti Regional Correspondent William Evans Inkum. Today, as I mentioned in our headline, is International Nurses Day. They play a very vital role in the healthcare delivery system. We hit the streets to find out from Ghanaians what they made of the job description of nurses and whether or not they've lived up to that expectation. This is what Ghanaians had to say.
Nurses all over the world are being celebrated today on International Nurses Day. And so we, on What Do You Think, acknowledge the significant role the Ghanaian nurse plays in our lives. But have they lived up to your expectation?
As it is, I mean, they are really playing a significant role in our country and in our lives, yeah, as citizens. So I really believe that our nurses have really lived up to expectations, apart from a few unfortunate incidences, but that notwithstanding, I think they've really done well.
So I'm pleading to the president that he should focus on the nurses. The tools they will use in the hospital, he should provide to the nurse
Oh, I'm boy, because especially Christ, I'll come baby, so doctors train you. The doctor be and be a bit my hands and be a doctor, so I be the guy.
Some of them are doing very, very good, but some of them too, I don't think their service is good, because for some past years we have some nurses that are like grown-ups. If you come to the hospital, how they even talk to you, they even treat you, oh, you will be okay. But nowadays, these young girls that are in nursing today, no. Their service is not good at all.
Some of the nurses are very, very annoying. I myself have experienced it several times. I one time felt like slapping a nurse at the hospital. New nurses too, and they can also be annoying because the nurse is a job, and they do it for the sake of job, but they are not passionate about it. And those people, I think, they should be cut off.
All right, so, well, those are the thoughts of a number of Ghanaians about what they make of today being International Nurses Day, and the day which is recognized around the world as a chance to celebrate the work of nurses has been marked globally. And I would just want to go straight to an interview where we have two nurses with us in studio to put a few questions to them. Some of the concerns that you, the viewer, raised severally about their treatment of patients, their sometimes their lack of seriousness when you are in dire pain and you need that and you need quick attention. They seem to have taken it easy. And then sometimes we would also hear of some nurses doing exceptionally well. People actually leave the hospital, go back and, you know, give them gifts of appreciation. Where do we find the balance, and what can we also give them as a nation to boost their morale in the delivery of their service? I've been joined in studio by Douglas Edu-Fokuo, who is Public Relations Officer for the Ghana Registered Nurses Association, the Greater Accra branch, and then also Madam Frederica Odei Benefo. She is Public Relations Officer for the Kolebu branch of the Ghana Registered Nurses Association, or Kolebu district, that is. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, Martin.
And thank you very much for joining us. What's written on your shirt?
Martin, you can see Stop Galamsey, GRNMA, that's Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, Greater Accra, Love Ghana, meaning that we are joining the stakeholders to campaign against Galamsey as part of our week celebration.
Is Galamsey in any way related to what you do as a health care provider?
Martin, sure. You know, our work that we do is not restricted only to the ward or the hospital setting. When it comes to nursing, we go beyond that. We have the promotion aspect, we have the preventive aspect. So as part of the preventive measures, are we sitting back to just watch people suffering in the Galamsey community areas to suffer from health implications due to the Galamsey and then come back to the hospital to congest the hospital? Because once they come, our nurse to patient ratio is not that much, and we are going to be affected. Okay, all right.
I think that's a campaign in the right direction. We support it as well. Let me bring you in, Madam Frederica. You clearly have practiced for quite a number of years. There are so many complaints about how nurses treat patients and how some nurses are just insensitive, especially when you are in pain and all of that. When you hear these complaints, how does that make you feel? And are they true in the first place? Would you say they are true? Some of your colleagues are terrible.
Okay, let me seize this opportunity to congratulate all nurses everywhere, especially the gallant ones who, though through hard trials and other things, have made it possible. That nursing is still what it is. Though there are a lot of hazards, still they are just behind and then pushing and then making things working well in the hospitals. Yeah, I congratulate them all and say I equal to everybody, every nurse, no matter how and where he or she is.
Okay.
Yeah. You said the public complain about attitude of nurses and other things. On this note, we will just apologize to the public on some of the issues. But there is an adage in tree. If ye be a mensa womb.
Hey.
Yes. You can't get everybody doing the same thing as each and everyone is doing. Though they have the training, everybody has a training to make you sustain hardships and other things. But sometimes, excuse me, we are human beings. Sometimes some of the nurses are pushed to the wall that they have to come out. Just assume you come to the hospital and there are no beds for you to admit patients and relatives are just charging on you. You become frustrated. You can't get consumables and other things to work. Once you know that this doesn't cost anything more than a V8, and then they can't afford, your facility can't afford, people are dying, and yours is that you have to promote health. And even the patient is dying, to see the patient dying in a peaceful. So if you are really committed to the work, sometimes, that doesn't mean you should get on the relatives, but sometimes also their reaction, and some of us, because they don't know how to go about, they react. And as I said, if you be a mensa woman.
So there are just a few bad nuts.
Just a few bad nuts, and
it's not a generality.
It's not a generality.
But it seems to be quite a lot. The bad ones, of course, they say bad news sells more than good, but it seems to be a lot, the complaints, and across board, from how children are treated to how the middle-aged to the very elderly. And we want to just find out that, is it part of your training that you learn how to handle these kinds of pressures? Because they never seem to go away. When I'm in pain, I may forget about the fact that you are also a fellow human being and blare out or say something very negative. In such situation, are you taught to handle pressure? And how maybe you want to handle that?
Martin, you made an assertion. I would say assertion because you don't have much premises to justify it. That it seems, that's why you use the word it seems, that many have bad attitudes. We don't have any empirical evidence to support that. But as my co-communication member said, that yes, we have bad nuts in every community. In every academic community, we do have such things. I will always give praises and appreciation to the nurses and midwives. But because, Martin, if you go to some communities, especially those in the community health centers, like the Volta region, if you go there, the community nurses there, the way they even suffer, the midwives, the chief compounds and the likes, the way they suffer, the motorbikes that even the authorities give to them to go for their community outreaches. Most of the motorbikes are not licensed, they are not insured, and as we speak now, if you go to Akachi, we have some of them detained there.
So you guys clearly have challenges, so tell us about a few of the challenges, then we'll come and wrap up with you about the theme for this year's celebration.
All right, so all these challenges contribute to these reactions that we have at the hospital settings. Right. We are not justifying it. We are also using all the health communication approaches, especially the professional medical approach, to address such behaviors, to influence the behavior of nurses positively so that our customer care will be positive. Right. But we should also know that we have stakeholders that are also concerned, and they have also responsibility to play, especially the patients. The patients and their relatives do have responsibilities to play. When you go to a hospital, your wife is in labor and you're going to the hospital, you go without diapers. It's not nice.
So it gives extra pressure to the nurse.
Exactly. You do have to go along with all these things. Aside that, the authorities should also make sure that they get us the enough logistics that we need. And also the conditions of service, they have to implement the conditions of service for the health workers. These are some of the reasons why you go to private hospitals in Ghana here, you see that the same nurses in the public hospitals doing locum are performing positively.
Much better.
Much better than the public facilities. You ask yourself why. It's because of the system that we do have.
Okay. Auntie Frederica, we are wrapping up. What is the theme for this year's celebration?
The theme, before I'll come to the theme, just a word. You know, the hospital is so broad and it's only the nurses that people see. So even somebody is in mufti attending to somebody, they take it as a nurse.
Okay.
Hence, the bad name spreading too much.
Okay.
So what we are appealing to is that it isn't everything in trouser that is a male. So when they get to the hospital, it isn't everybody who is a nurse. They should approach the nurses.
Nice adage.
Yes.
Theme?
And the theme is...
the health implications of galamsey and attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals, nurses and midwives in one voice with stakeholders.
Ish.
And that's why we are in the galamsey set, as you can see.
Okay.
So we are preaching to them. There are so many health complications.
Oh, nice.
I'm from
we'll probably bring you in to come and tell us what you see there and how you think we can all help in the fight against galamsey. We've been celebrating nurses today. Frederica Odey Benefo is public relations for the Kolebu district for the Ghana Registered Nurses Association. And then also we had Douglas Edufoko, Public Relations Officer for the Ghana Registered Nurses Association. Today is International Nurses Day. Congrats to all of them. We wish you well and hope to see you in the next year while we celebrate you some more. This is still Midday Live on TV3. Thank you very much for joining us on TV3. This is still Midday Live time now for business news. And we will let you know what's happening in the world of business shortly. Okay, so as it stands now, I do not have that particular information for you. We'll bring it to you shortly. So the information we have for you in terms of business is that the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has appointed the acting chairman of the NPP, Freddie Blay, as the board chair of the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, a company, I beg your pardon. He takes over from Felix Addo. The President has also appointed 6 others as members of the GNPC board. They are Dr. K.K. Sapong, who is the Chief Executive of the corporation, Mr. Kwabena Kwache, Professor S. Nabila, Mr. Yao Che, Nana Ajwa Hackman, and Ajenboho Yao Jibi II. A memo dated the 3rd of May and signed by the Chief of Staff, Akusia Frema Osei Pare, requested the Minister of Energy to take necessary steps to swear the above-mentioned members of the Board of Directors into office. A copy of the memo was received at the GNPC on May 11, 2017. All right, so that's the news making rounds in the world of business. When we return, we'll let you know what's happening in the world of sports. Stay.
Hi, my name is Johnny Hughes. I'm your regular voice on 3FM 92.7 and your unmistakable face on TV3's New Day. Mothers are the emotional backbone of every family, and their boundaries and curfews make us better people. My mom is beautiful, she's incredible and adorable, and she's taught me to be a functioning adult. So as we mark Mother's Day this year, make it special for your mother. If she's not around, make sure that you're saying a prayer for she who taught you how to walk and talk. And for those who've been mothering you, make sure that you make the day special for them. It's only one day, but make sure that every day indeed counts for them. Happy Mother's Day.
Watch Mother's Day celebration live on TV3 this Sunday at 3 p.m. Don't miss it. It's brought to you by Royal Aroma Rice, Tasty Tom, Enriched Tomato Mix, Onga, Mama's Helping Hand, Verna, Natural Mineral Water, Mother Care from Dream Cosmetics, Royal Drinks.
This Sunday. Boom, boom, boom. Now we're about to say, well, notice. Here we go. I say, boom, boom, boom. Now let me hear you say, well, I say, boom, boom, boom. Now we're about to say, Ghana's Strongest starts showing Sunday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. only on TV3.
Brought to you by Mexi Choco, Channel Hot, and supported by 3FM 92.7, Umia 95.1 FM, Connect FM in Takrady, Akuma FM in Kumasi, and
3news.com.
Everything you need to know. Captivating. Reliable.
President Mahama, who addressed a Deborah of chiefs and people of
credible and breaking news. All at your fingertips.
Who's found Asamoah Gyan? Super finish!
Being on top of the news has never been easy. Visit us at www.3news.com for all your reliable news. 3 News, news at your fingertips.
Are you an entrepreneur with business?
The heartbeat of every economy. The booze and the chairs of the stock market shows who's making profit and who's crumbling under the harsh business environment. On Business Focus, we crowd out the noise for you to make informed decisions on your investment. I'm Parkwisi Asare and I talk business.
Business Focus, Mondays, 6 p.m. only on TV3.
Brought to you by Asad Tech Roofing, Acacia Health Insurance.
Only on TV3.
And evict 8 athletes who possibly would not make the grade. The auditions have ended at all 4 zones in the country, and the 12 selected athletes will now lock horns. The likes of past winners Kari Jadoko and Barack Kwachi Obama will look on together, with the entire country hoping a deserving successor and winner will emerge after the next few weeks. Those athletes waiting to impress say they are ready for the final eliminator.
In the past, the past was tough, so I just expect it to be as tough, if not more. So we'll train hard, go put down everything we can put down, and see what happens.
How far will you go this season?
I'm going to the next round. We'll see. We'll see how far we go after that.
I think God created me in His own wisdom, very beautiful way. I am self-motivated. I motivate myself. I don't really want to motivate me.
The commissioners, who have made some keen observations so far, believe the season will be a promising one.
This year, we're expecting the athletes to be more up and doing with the tax that we have for them. Because we are going to twist some of the tax. It's not going to be the same tax as last year. This year, we'll twist some of it, just to make it more interesting.
We're going to look at discipline. We're going to look at realism. We would have to look at decisiveness. And then coupled with the fact that what we've always been looking out for, as in mental alertness, iron-mindedness, perseverance.
The final eliminator will be on Saturday, May 13th at the Accra International Conference Center. Brute strength and grit are expected to be on show as 12 athletes progress to the main events. TV3's Ghana's Strongest. Ghana's Strongest. The power to do.
So like you heard there in that report, the venue for the final eliminator of Ghana's Strongest Season 6 has changed from the Achimota Mall to the Ghana International Trade Fair Center in La. So make your way there on May 13, which is tomorrow, Saturday. That's all the sports here on Midday Live. My name is Anako Jaffe. Thanks very much for watching. Back to you, Martin.
Thank you very much, Nana Kojafre. Are worn at different parts of the world for different occasions. And today we want to bring you glitz and glamour, especially in the case of women, as they showcase their trends.
Whether formal or casual, jumpsuits are the perfect match for just about every occasion, as they are totally in style. With the top and bottom in one piece, jumpsuits are comfortable, smart and classy, until you want to pee. If you're not willing to sit half naked on the toilet, jumpsuits are not for you. Jumpsuits are for the brave. Bootcut and flare jeans are back again. Fitted skinny jeans ruled the scene for a while, but the bell-bottoms from the late 90s are in vogue once more. I guess it's time to let our ankles breathe. The floral print trend has been in vogue for years,
with floral embroidered denims being the latest of its designs. Florals fit all occasions, work, weekend hangouts, you name it. However, they are best for those who prefer little or no jewelry. And guess what? They make you more approachable. Another way to get past the heat while looking smashing is with the off-shoulder look. Unlike the crop top, which exposes your not so flat tummy, shoulders always look good. From the runway to the streets, pointed toe flats and heels are in trend, comfortable and yet stylish. Pointed heels give you a classy look for all occasions. So, get your groove on this weekend and flaunt what your mama gave you.
And that will be it for the bulletin. It came your way from our studio here at Adesanwe. My name is Martin Asiedu-Dartey. Thank you very much for watching.